Record.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Music Matters. I'm your host, Harry, and this is Christy.
Hey.
Today we have with us the band Texas Dan.
Howdy, y'all.
Hey, guys. Introduce yourselves and what you play.
I am Texas Dan, vocals and guitars.
I'm Paps Tyler. I play bass.
My name is Lauren Bam Bam Dean. I play drums.
All right, excellent. And you guys are from Galveston,
Texas.
Galveston, Texas. All right, awesome. Thank you for being with us here today. So we've got you guys coming in again at the end of July to play in a music fest with us.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome. So tell me about Texas Dan.
It originally started off as just acoustic acts, and Paps Tyler would know about that because we shared the same stage together as a couple times. And then he just approached us one day and just said, like, hey, I wouldn't mind helping you all out. And pretty soon it just started to grow. We met our other guitar player who couldn't be here today at another open mic. And then met Bam Bam Dean along the way and asked her if she wanted to be a part of it. She said it'd be her first time. And she's been rocking it since. And ever since then, we've been going at it since.
Okay. Why Texas Dan?
Because Texas. That's why. We originate from Texas, even though he's from Ohio. He came to Texas as quick as he could. And we just decided to just make this band heavy metal, of course, but with a little Texas twang to it. So you do hear a little bit of country roots in there, a little southern roots in there. But at the same time, we're still rock and roll. We're still heavy metal.
Okay. So not exactly country metal, or is that a thing?
Like
I don't
Cody
know.
Parks? No, don't get me wrong, I love me some Cody Parks. But it's kind of like how should I say, kind of like a Pantera type of groovish metal to it.
Okay. So, and how did you all meet?
Like I said, we met at an open mic one time in Galveston at a place called Indies. Eric, our other guitarist, we met him in Houston at another place called Axelrad. And Bam Bam here, I actually met her through my coworker, who happens to be her wife, and asked her, you know what, she plays drums. Would she want to be a part of this as well? And she's like, I'll ask. And next thing you knew, 5 seconds later, hell yeah. And I was like, all right, we got a full band.
All right. And then I understand that you teach music?
I do. I'm a band director.
Okay. So this is what behind the scenes, what happens in the band director's office is nothing but metal and punk and.
Oh, trust me.
I always wonder that.
My students already know about my character. They already know how I can be. And they already know, like, oh, this guy's a rocker. This guy's a metalhead. Especially when this generation, at least this generation of students, is all full of, like, hip-hop and, K-pop and all that other stuff. And they're like, what's Black Sabbath? And I'm like, oh, Lord in heaven. So I have to educate them on who Ozzy and Tony and Geezer and Bill are. And they're like, oh, okay, I dig this. I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere.
It's like a real life school of rock right here.
Okay.
I try.
He's that guy.
And like actual instruments, not like.
Oh yeah, my band
Yeah,
instruments,
definitely.
woodwinds, brass, percussion.
Right,
Of course, I
right.
leave the percussion up to her.
But I feel like the kiddos, like that's the first time that they're introduced to actual instruments nowadays because it's all like, Billie Eilish in my bedroom making with the, electronic.
a MIDI controller.
Right.
In a DAW. And
Yeah.
everybody's a producer now.
Oh, yeah. Yes, everybody's a producer for sure. This one time, Harry, we had listened to, we're like, okay, let's listen to this, this electronic music. So we listened to it. And then he played our actual music with actual drums and guitar. And when you put it together, side by side, such a difference. The actual music just doesn't have that hollow. You know, the electronic music is more of a hollow.
Some of it
You know,
can. Some
yeah.
of it can be.
Yeah.
We've had some experiences with artists that buy backtracks or whatever it is, and they try to create music, and they hear like what a live band sounds like, and they're like, well, I want some of that with what I'm singing, and totally understandable. It's because it's a completely different vibe. It fills the room differently.
Absolutely.
So
It's when hip hop started. That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
yeah, well, it
Taking samples and
Yeah.
Yeah.
making it your own.
yeah. Well, they used to play records in New York in I forget which spot in New York it was, but they would sample jazz albums and sing over those or sample them into music, jazz and blues and other
Funk.
funk. Yes,
Funk
Yep.
was big for that.
Yep.
But then again, jazz and blues, that's where rock and roll and heavy metal originated from, was from jazz and blues.
Right, right. You have a music history lesson for us, Texas Dan?
I think it'd be too long.
But,
Maybe for another time.
Oh, okay.
but as a teacher, you went through all the training and to get a degree. I
6
assume.
years.
Yeah.
It could have been 4
Yeah.
years, but unfortunately in my youth I was not a very good guy, and so it took me a while.
Well, I believe that music is one of the hardest degrees to get because it's like, you know, you get 1 hour credit for like 5 hours worth of work.
Yeah. I think she can agree with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a music minor, so I kind of got a glimpse of what it was to be a music major, and it's a lot. Even for a minor, it's a lot. You know.
Ah.
So.
It's almost the same. I went through a similar thing. I was engineering in music. I was trying to make a decision, and I tried to do minor in music, and it was like, okay, it's almost the exact same time commitment as a major, but because you're a minor, nobody likes you. You're not the cool kid.
Right.
So you don't get any good parts in any of the ensembles that you're playing at, and people don't think you're committed, and so you're just a loser at that point. So I went down the engineering path instead, but that was because you can always come back to music. Music is ageless and timeless, and you can do it when you're young. You can do it when you're old, and anywhere in between.
You don't have to be educated to be a musician. Mm-hmm. And then I think a lot of people nowadays, at least the ones that I meet, they think, oh man, he went to school for music. He went to this guy knows everything. It's like, no, I'm still learning. Even as a teacher, you still learn. You don't know everything. Even if you
Right.
weren't a teacher, you're still progressively learning new
Right.
things. And
And I respect that. Unfortunately, they were a young band, very young, like 16, 17, 18. And the one drummer felt like he was self-taught. He didn't need anything else. And, he felt like he was done. He was self-taught and he was done. And I felt like that was unfortunate because, like, this guy Blake is going to school for drums, and you said you've got some top-notch professors who even take lessons, right, Blake? He's got his earphones on, but
Yeah, I sorry. Hold on. Yeah, I do. So I'm lucky enough that I get to take lessons from probably one of the best session musicians in Dallas, and it's definitely helped me improve my chops and open a whole new door of what drumming could actually be, and getting to mess around with a lot of different genres outside of just and getting to play jazz, Latin, and explore the bounds of what else can you do with rock beats and make them more complex or add a lot of nuance that helps with a lot of groove.
mm-hmm.
but you said even that professor still seeks out lesson, sort of less like mentoring for himself, still lessons and like he feels like he's not done either.
I think it's more of a sense of that he understands that there are people that are better than him, and he listens to people who are better than him. But he also has an understanding of that just because somebody isn't necessarily as good as you doesn't mean that they don't have a valuable perspective that you might not have. You can have
Absolutely.
somebody who's completely at the beginning of their journey, but just because the fact that they're another person, they have and have lived a whole other life, that they have valuable insight that you don't otherwise have.
Absolutely. That's something that we tell our students on an everyday basis is that, hey, it's good that you know this scale. It's good that you know this chromatic run. That's awesome. But you also got to remember, too, and, my students know I'm always going to say it like it is. There's always going to be someone better than you. Not saying that to put you down. I'm saying that to motivate you to always practice. Even when you feel like, hey, I got it. Okay, what else can I practice? What else can I do to better myself as a musician? Don't stop.
Awesome. Isn't that an Eagles song? New Kid in Town?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
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 Money
Yeah.
come lately, you get in town.
Yeah.
That's my dad's music right there.
Yeah. There's always going to be a new kid in town. There's always going to be somebody that's up and coming and better. And
Absolutely.
and you guys might be the next new kid in town.
Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
The way it's been moving so far, it's been moving pretty quick. A lot of people are now starting to see Texas Dan as those new kids in town, and where they come from. Oh, from Galveston? Galveston has a heavy metal scene establishing itself.
It's coming. It's
getting
coming.
there.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So, you guys grow up in Galveston, or what? You said you're from Texas.
So I'm originally from the deep South Texas, McAllen, which is, like I said, about like maybe 45 minutes away, or 30 minutes with my driving, from Brownsville. I originated from there, but moved to the Houston area because, my whole family's around there. So I just fell in love with that place, and I call Houston my home now. And
It's kind of what happened to me. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and just came down to visit a friend just a little over 3 years ago, and I loved it so much in Galveston. I went home, quit my job, and drove to Galveston, and here I am now.
That's awesome.
I'm actually from Dallas myself.
Okay.
And then I spent the first 7 years of my life in Dallas, and then I moved to Ohio because I have family up there as well. And then I spent 5 years in Ohio, and then I moved back here down in Dallas. I think in 2012, and then I've been here ever since. So yeah.
Would you say Dallas is a little bit more vibrant than Ohio?
Most definitely, yeah. There's
And we're from two opposite parts of Ohio,
Yeah,
too, and
yeah.
I think we would both say yes, 100%.
yeah, there's a lot more city life in Dallas than there is in Ohio.
So let's talk influences a little bit. So tell me about your music and like what influenced some of your music.
Well, when I first had my first heavy metal band back when I was a teenager going into college, we were strictly Metallica, Pantera, Iron Maiden, Slayer, Sepultura. And as you got older, Metallica never left me. Pantera and Iron Maiden, of course, never left me. But I started to listen to a lot more of the classic rock, like Eagles, 38 Special, Thin Lizzy, and I started to see that, hey, this stuff is actually pretty catchy. I wonder if I can, take some of those influences and make them, heavy metal. And at the same time, too, since you're from Texas, see if you can try and make it somewhat of a Texas feel. And that's when the music of Texas Dan started to originate. No Disgrace was actually the first song that ever originated out of Texas Dan. That was by far the crowd pleaser. I think anytime we play that, everyone's like, oh, wait a minute, I know this one. You used to play it at the open mics. Now it's with a full band. Oh, my God, this is what it sounds like? That's nice. And, of course, it's what most people chant to as well, especially on the No Disgrace chorus part. So a lot of my influences have grown up since, delving away from the thrash metal. As much as I'm always going to be a thrash metal guy, listening to just regular heavy metal, even, like Ozzy Osbourne, Alice Cooper. I know I'm missing a couple of others off the top of my head, but those started to come into view, and that's when I was able to just write my music based off of that. But I know these two definitely have different influences as well. And combining that with Texas dance style only just helps it to grow and makes it become what it is as it's known now.
Makes it more unique.
Yeah. That's what I love about original music is we don't have original music doesn't have to fit into like a box, so to say, like grunge, punk, metal. You know, it can be a fusion.
So you guys have been playing a little bit as a band then, or
Oh, yeah.
how long you guys been gigging?
Since our first gig was actually back in December.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ever since then, people have just been asking, hey, can Texas Dan play here? Texas Dan play here? There's actually a venue in Houston that we've been told about called BFE. When rumor goes around that, you know, getting into that place, you know, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. You know, it's damn near impossible trying to play at those places. But we got our first gig there, opening up for a Judas X, a Judas Priest tribute band. And after we got done with that show, they asked for us to come back for another music festival called Rowdy Fest. And they loved us even then. So the fact that we were able to play at a venue that's damn near impossible to play at twice, that speaks a lot of volumes because it's like, you know, at least that shows you where the band is going and how it's growing as you go along.
So you've been playing as before Texas Dan. You guys played as musicians in other bands too, on your own, or
Yeah, for the most part.
so. Tell me about some of the experiences that you've had. We were talking about the bingo card earlier. So tell me a story about like what's the most interesting thing you've seen, kind of in the scene or experienced, or that aha moment. I can't believe that just happened.
Well, it definitely is a little bit more difficult as an original band to get the exposure out there for yourself because at least from what I have seen, and I'm sure you two could probably agree with me on this, most establishments want to hear other people's music. They already want to, you know, hey, are you a Metallica tribute band? Are you a Linkin Park tribute band? Are you a Pantera tribute band? Are you a Runaways tribute band? That's what they want to hear. I'm not knocking tribute band because I think they're phenomenal, especially the ones we've had the opportunity of playing with.
Yeah, we play with some good ones.
But at least from what I've seen, that's what a lot of places like to hear, and that's great and all, but we're trying our best to spread our music, spread that originality out there to let them know, like, hey, this is where we come from. Those tributes that you love, we find them as tributes too. We find them as influences. So we want you guys to hear what we have based off of those influences as well.
I feel like the tributes are history, and you got to remember where you come from. But at the same time, original is more the future.
Absolutely.
So who's had that experience on stage where something went wrong?
Oh, too many times.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay,
many times.
so do share.
Doesn't always have to be wrong.
Well, for me, we'll be here
What
forever,
stands
but
out?
I would say it was our most recent show, and my hi-hat, because I usually have it open a little bit, and for our last song, it was the very last song of our set, and the hi-hat had just decided that it wasn't going to open anymore. It just stayed closed. So I was like, yes. So I was like, all right, cool. So I just kind of went along with it. It sounded fine throughout the song, but I just knew that something was wrong because the pedal wasn't working, the hi-hat wasn't going up and down. But that was probably where I, at least out of all of our shows, that's where I had the most trouble.
I bet the audience didn't know.
Oh yeah, probably not,
Yeah.
not. But I noticed, so it was, it had bothered me. But I mean,
I can see that.
it is what it is.
Yeah, Ryan, do you remember when every time you would hit a wrong note, you would make a face?
Well, yeah, but I think that's
I'm
kind of
bad
everyone
about
at
that.
first, you know?
For sure.
I'm so bad about that. I try to tell myself all the time, just don't react to it if you mess up. Nobody will know.
It's
Right.
okay. My girlfriend / manager of Texas Dan, she has to constantly look at me all the time when I'm on stage and I mess up, like, stop. you're fine. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah, well, that's the good part about original music is if you forget the words to your song, nobody knows.
Exactly.
And except for like your diehard fans and family, and
I mean, shoot, Metallica forgets their lyrics every now and then. Not
Yeah.
knocking them, but
Yeah.
the fans don't care.
Yeah.
well, and the music's pretty loud, so a lot of times people don't hear it always.
This is true too.
Yeah.
I got a fun one on the note of things going wrong, actually. It's the first show I ever played with the band. I was 17. I was still in high school. And we were a metal band. It was original music. So it was one of those shows where you got, I think there were 4 or 5 bands on the bill. And I was in high school. Everybody else in the band was a little older, but I sold like a ton of tickets to that show because everybody at school wanted to come see it. So they put us like second to last. They already
Right.
had a determined headliner, but we were going to open. They pushed us to almost last. And the band before us was playing. I'd never seen a mosh pit before. You know, I didn't grow up with a metal background. And there's a big mosh pit going on. And there's those guys, I think they call it like ninja pitting or something, where they're like swinging their arms around and
yeah.
everything.
Lord, yes.
And next door to the music venue is a coffee shop. That part's important because this band I've never seen a mosh pit, so I hop in there and I'm having a good time. And next thing I know, I'm like over in the coffee shop with my drummer, and he's like holding me up, it's like, come on, dude, we got to get you some water. And I'm like, what just happened? All I remember was a thud. And he said one of those guys like decked me in the side of the head and literally knocked me out.
Oh, wow.
And then I played my first show like concussed from that. I don't even remember the set.
Some
Like,
people call that the new form of mosh pitting, which I'm like, that's not mosh pitting, that's shadow boxing. I don't know what is going on. With all due respect to those that love to do that, especially at those metalcore shows and whatnot, me personally, it's like, do that to the wrong person, you're going to get your ass knocked out. You know, there's
crowd
nothing
killing.
wrong with just a regular mosh.
practice safe moshing, everybody.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it?
Very good.
Crowd killing? Is that what
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Crowd
No.
killing.
No.
Crowd killing when they throw elbows and kicks and all of that. All
That's
that.
when I'm like, nope, nope.
It's best to keep your feet on the deck.
But I feel like that's a new generation, or not so much a new generation. It's been established so far as a new trend of moshing, but I still don't consider it moshing
Yeah. It's over the top.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Blake went moshing just regular. This was a couple of years ago, back when I guess it's one of the Big Robs. It was a pool hall, and they had a lot of concerts there. And he made the mistake of trying to mosh with his glasses, and his glasses didn't survive.
So I always say, guys, leave your glasses with me if you need to.
I lost a pair crowd surfing at All That Remains show once. Yeah, it
No.
was a long drive, an hour and a half drive home with no glasses.
With no glasses, that's the yeah.
At night.
The last mosh pit I've ever been in, and it was an actual authentic mosh pit, the shadow boxing crap, was Sepultura. And it was my senior year. I had actually skipped out on my prom, which my girlfriend at that time was, I don't know if she was disappointed or she was just like, oh my God, I'm going to like a heavy metal show and whatnot. She didn't really see how aggressive Sepultura's shows could be. And she was like, I wish I had gone to the prom. I wish I had gone to the prom. I wish I nope, this is my prom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best show that you've been to?
No, best show I've been to so far was when Metallica came to Houston with Pantera and Suicidal Tendencies opening up for them. That was by far the loudest and most packed show. I think they even said they beat out Beyonce in, crowd capacity.
Yeah, Metallica's pretty popular. How about you?
Oh
best
man, totally not metal, but I'm like, I think about this all the time. I'm torn between, it was either Radiohead, because that's like my favorite band ever, so it was just like absolutely mind-blowing to see them, or when I was in high school and saw Rush, they absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like my friend's dad took us, like they had an extra ticket. I didn't really know much about Rush, and I was a huge Rush fan ever since then. I mean, they're so good live. I'm going to see them in Detroit in August, actually. So.
They just played in Fort Worth, so I want to go see them because those my first 2 concerts were Pink Floyd and Rush.
Man, I'm so
Nice.
jealous you saw Pink
Nice.
Floyd live.
But he had to work.
Yeah, I had to work hard for it because So this was back in the day when there was no online tickets or anything like that. You had to.
Had to go straight to Ticketmaster, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the Ticketmaster was at the local I don't remember sporting goods store or whatever, Sports Authority or
For us, it was a local records.
yeah,
shop.
you had to wait in line, and so me and 3 friends, you could only get 4 tickets. So me and 3 friends went, and we each got the allocated 4 tickets, and we scalped them to our friends, and that's how we paid for the show. We stood in line and it was hours, like forever, to get the tickets, and we sold it to our friends. It was enough to pay for the tickets and a T-shirt and something to eat. So yeah, that was how I got to go see, because I didn't have money to go
But
to the concert.
but what he didn't tell you is he grew up, even though he was not, he grew up in an affluent area, so it worked pretty good.
Nice.
How about you, Bam Bam?
Yeah, so it's actually not heavy metal at all. It was actually a jazz group. They were called Snarky Puppy.
Oh,
Snarky
They're based
Puppy,
out
yeah.
of North.
Yeah, they're from Denton.
Yeah,
North
they
Texas.
are.
Awesome.
I went to see them in high school, and that was probably the best concert I've ever been to. The dude brought out the saxophone. Everybody was just dancing all around me, and it was a really good time. But
Nice.
that was probably my best, the best show that I've been to was that jazz group.
Funny, because saxophone's actually my primary instrument before guitar.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my dad played it, and then my older brother played it, and I was like, you know what, let's keep it in the family. And I decided to play it. Little did I know it was going to delve into that. So as soon as she said saxophone, I was like, oh.
Snarky Puppy's
Yeah.
nice.
I've heard you talk about Snarky Puppy. The
Snarky
Snarky Puppy
Yeah.
before, Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So metal sax. Haven't.
You know what? Just
know.
because you're heavy metal does not mean you cannot put a fiddle in the band, does not mean you can't put a saxophone in
Well,
the band.
we have there's actually an act that we've had in some of our shows, Violin Shredder. He's heavy metal violin. You should,
And he's intense.
yeah, you should check him out. He's pretty good.
I have to check him out. 'Cause
Yeah.
the last violin shredder I actually saw was a female, and she literally had a violin that was custom made to look like Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstrat.
Oh yeah.
wow.
And she was just doing the eruption solo,
Mm-hmm.
all on violin. I'm just like,
You haven't heard violin until you listen to some Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Yeah.
Jerry Goodman, Mahavishnu Orchestra. Amazing. That's old.
Right. Right. So, let's see. What's the most awkward musical moment that you guys have had? You should either as a band or individually. You've been a teacher. You've got experience playing as individual artists. What's the most
I would say more stands out to you. Good or bad.
I'm going to let them go first. I feel like I have way too many. So I'm going to let Bam Bam and then Paps go first.
Let's see. I would say this was whenever I was in high school. I was in marching band, and no, it wasn't high school. It was college. I was in marching band. I was on the drum line, and there was a part in the show where, because I had played tenors, so there was a part in the show where we had to march off the field, and we had to switch out our drums to go to snare drums, and then march back onto the field. And we had to do that within it was 32 counts to do all that. And there was a point where I had got my snare drum. We had to take off our hats and all that to put on the drums. I got my snare drum, and I marched out back onto the field. But I felt like a breeze on my head. I was like, this doesn't seem right. I left my hat on the side of the field.
That's a good one.
So yeah,
You forgot your Shaco.
Yeah. So I marched the rest of that show with no Shaco, no hat, and it was actually quite nice. I had a breeze on my head. It was fantastic. But that
Ain't
was
complaining.
probably
Ain't complaining.
yeah.
Man, I'll say here's something that awkward that happens to me all the time. It's not funny or anything, but I play a decent amount of shows as like a solo acoustic artist where I'm playing a lot of cover songs, you know, and I know a lot of people do it, but I'm like very against having like music in front of me or a phone on the stand or an iPad or something with the
Sure,
lyrics. I want to
sure.
have it all memorized so I can focus on the crowd and
Good for you.
put on a show for them rather than be staring at a screen the
Right.
whole set. So it happens almost every gig where I'll get somebody that's been drinking and they will just hover around me all night. Like, do you take requests? Like, I mean, I've got a pretty big library, but like I can't just, you know, I can't just pull off any random
Right.
song. I'm sorry. Well, you know this artist? And they'll just start naming off artists and naming off artists. And
Freebird.
even when you're in the middle of playing your set too, it's like, hey, can you just let me do my thing?
Right.
It just makes this real big awkward
Yeah,
moment every
it's like
time,
it's
and then the
real
other people
hard,
there
yeah.
see it. So that is
Yeah.
something awkward I deal with regularly. I feel like.
When we had gone back up to Illinois, we had gone to the local watering hole, and there was a band called Cheap Foreign Cars, a tribute band. So guess what that was?
Cheap Trick Foreigner in the Cars.
You got it. So a gal, you got
okay.
it. So a gal was asking them to play Jesse's Girl.
Oh my goodness, it's same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. I feel bad for him, and I don't
Yeah.
even know him.
That's the thing with a lot of tribute and cover bands. Whenever you call yourself or you name yourself something, all of your crowd or fans are going to be like, hey, do you know this one song? It's like, oh, we haven't got to that one. Ah, how can you call yourself that, this band, if you don't even know that? It's like, dude, calm down, all right?
Right.
You know, we play what we like, okay? We're not going
Right.
to play all of your songs. Trust me, Cars probably don't even play all of their repertoire
Right.
down. For me, it wasn't so much being on stage. It was actually out of all places in San Antonio at a karaoke place, because I love doing karaoke. And my guilty pleasure, as you know, is Bryan Adams. I love that guy's voice. So I remember I was singing Everything I Do It For You.
Oh, okay.
And there was this one guy that was like, he was like hovering right next to me as I was singing that song, and it kind of looked like he wanted to sing it too. And he looked sober. That's all I'm gonna say. He looked sober. And so as soon as I was finished with that second round, everything I do it for you. And I pass it over to him, and he grabs it. There's no one. I'm like, what did I just do? What did I just do? Oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm just like literally, my girlfriend manager is just like, what did you do? And so I was just like, okay, I'm going to take that back. There's no one. I'm just like, oh my God, that was embarrassing. And with all due respect to him, I was just like, Lord, I know it's called karaoke for a reason.
Right.
But at the same time, I was like my buzz was just gone after that. I went sober after that.
I think you just inspired a new category of questions. He looked sober.
Well, I thought he was sober. Yeah, I thought he could. You know what?
And go.
Yeah. I do love. Yeah, Bryan Adams has that. Like, I've like smoked a pack a day, or half a pack a day. Voice.
It's funny because
But
I
it's not like he's smoked 4 packs a day.
I actually researched the guy too. He's actually a vegan. He's
Yeah.
never touched meat before, and it's
Just
like
kind of natural.
I don't know
yeah.
how he does it. I'm a beef eater. I love my steak.
Yes.
Medium
Oh, I
rare.
thought you was talking about the gin. There's a gin called Beefeater. It's
Oh, okay. As soon as I said he said gin, I thought Kiss. It's cold gin time again. I was like, oh, okay, next
He
cover.
looked sober at the time.
He looked sober. That's going to be a new saying. He looked sober at the time. It's going to be our new Texas Dan shirt. He looked sober at the time.
I like it.
With me just doing this.
So tell me about your songs.
So, like I said, No Disgrace was the first song that ever came out of Texas Dan. And that one's just basically, when you actually pay attention to the lyrics, it's just basically just talking about a guy who's just had enough of your crap. And even though he's targeting this one individual who just thinks he's a tough guy, had too much to drink and starts picking a fight with this individual, and the individual's like, not interested, and he just keeps going and going until all of a sudden, all right, you asked for it, and you just let him have it. And the guy gets up, he's like, I don't give a shit. Look, I'm just going to say it like it is. I'm going to let you have it as it is. If you push me too far, I don't have any regrets. I don't have any disgrace for myself. I am who I am. So, fuck you, in other words. The next song that came out was Doc's Holiday. And, of course, the name says it all. It is based off of Doc Holliday from Tombstone, Arizona, especially his time around there. Like I had told you before, I love Texas history, but when I had visited Arizona that one time and I got to visit Tombstone, I was like, this place is actually really cool, and it's not even Texas. And so I got to learn a little bit more about Doc Holliday, and I was just like, you know what, I need to write a song about this, and it can't be one of those fast-paced mosher ones. It has to be like a groovy, like, headbanging type of deal, which you guys will hear later on today. The next one that was released was Bayou Solace. That was, as this one says, this was the first time I ever had to drop my bass down for the lowest tunings.
Yeah, definitely the lowest tuning I've ever played in my life.
What is it?
Still.
Bayou Solace.
I know. What does it drop? What?
Well, it's D standard, but the top string is dropped to a C. So it's not too bad. At least my standard, it's not too bad. But I understand he has a different type of standard with his guitar and bass playing as well. That one is just basically talking about a guy who has a drug addiction and tried to make a deal with the devil to try to get him out of that. And of course, when you make a deal with the devil, he wants something in return. So he tries to weasel his way out of it by, swimming down the swamps of Louisiana to a voodoo priestess to get him out of it. And she does, but of course, she wants something in return and takes his soul instead. So this is kind of like, you thought you were going to get out of it, but you ended up screwing yourself in the end. And so the three songs you're going to hear tonight are just based off of just story writing, but also at the same time going back to No Disgrace. It's just based off of just how some people are just done with other people's crap. Some people are just, feel like they're full of themselves. Some people are either sensitive or try to be the tough guy until that one person is going to end up just putting you in your place. That's what No Disgrace is about.
This guy's a great storyteller. He's a published author.
He is.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that.
You tell him.
I actually wrote a book. It's actually, out of all things, and your shirt says it all right there. It's called The Texan. Subtitle Harrowing, which is the harrowing of souls, which I know Kim has been telling me numerous times, you need to get on the second novel. You need to get on the second novel, which I have been working on, but Texas Dan has been taking a lot more priority on that, which is not a problem. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it online. You can't find it at any bookstores. That's just the deal I made with the publisher and whatnot.
What's it about?
Austin. United States mercenary out of Texas, who is sent to Australia to think he thinks he's going to be dealing with like a terrorist type of organization, this dictator that needs to be overthrown, cartel member or whatnot. But you know how the government likes to hide things from people, So when he gets over there, he sees that, satanic cults are real, demons, monsters, and whatnot are real. And he's just like, whoa. But instead of like questioning it, he's like, okay, time to pull a Clint Eastwood. You adapt, you improvise. Let's do this Heartbreak Ridge style. Let's find a way. Let's find a way. And it ends up becoming an ongoing thing. Like I said, first book's already out, and so I just need to sit down and think about what I want to do with the second one, and hopefully it just becomes a series. And hopefully,
what's it called again?
The Texan, Harrowing. You can't miss it. It has a big cowboy hat sitting right on top of a Bowie knife that's bloody, right behind, I think, one of the most famous mountains in Australia. I forgot what it's called. I want to say Devil's Peak, but I think that's one in Wyoming. I forget.
So are you like second generation Texas?
Oh, I was born in Texas.
Okay, and then were your parents and grandparents?
My dad was born in Texas. My mom was born in Mexico, Monterrey, but she moved to Texas, and that's when my mom and dad found each other.
Same roots, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, and then your grandparents?
grandparents are pure Texan. My mom's side, of course, is Mexican.
Okay. Yeah, so you go like way back.
A little too deep. I need to dig a little bit deeper into my family roots.
Yeah. She does a lot of ancestry and all that stuff. So
She's going to be calling me up and be like, "Did you know that your mom?" I did not. But thank you for telling me.
Possibly. So you guys got a show coming up. You're playing in with us on July 26th. If people want to find your music, where can they find you guys?
Find us on Instagram. Find us on Spotify. Find us on all of your streaming sites: YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Apple Music. Thank you so much. I know there's
Tidal. I'm just naming the ones that nobody uses. But it's there. It's there, though.
caught me off guard. I'm just like,
And this is awesome. We're gonna hear metal with a twang.
And your handle, your Instagram is
it's Texas Dan Music.
okay, and Facebook.
Facebook is also Texas Dan Music or
Texas Dan Clan.
Texas Dan Clan. Texas Dan Clan.
Nice.
And then on Spotify, you guys are there.
At Spotify, we're there as Texas Dan.
All right, awesome.
Nice. Yeah, we're gonna hear.
And we got the new one being released sometime at the end of July, beginning August. Doc's Holiday. So
Okay, awesome. And we're going to hear that tonight.
you're definitely going to hear that.
Okay,
tonight.
awesome. Stay tuned, everybody. We're going to switch over here. We should be back in just a little bit. But this is Texas Dan. Make sure that you follow them on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. I think we've got all that running on the screen right now. So that you know where to find them, and tune back in. Give us a little bit of time to switch over, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and we should maybe a little less. Stay tuned on the channel on the Studio 801 YouTube and Facebook, and we'll be back here shortly.
Peace, y'all.
All right.
and we'll hear metal with a twang.
All right, we good?